Hello and welcome to True Crime ESL, True Crime Stories for English Learners. I'm your host, Nova Singh. In the video description, there's a link to a free document with vocabulary descriptions and a transcript for this episode that you can download. Can you find the 2 special phrases from the document in today's story? Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy this podcast and want to hear more. Today, our story is about Gypsy Rose and Dee Dee Blanchard. Gypsy Rose Blanchard was born in Louisiana in the United States of America in 1991. Her mother was Claudine Blanchard, who was known as Dee Dee. Her mother and father split up just before Gypsy was born. As a baby, Gypsy had problems with her health. Her mother, Dee Dee, took her to see lots of different doctors. As she got older, Gypsy couldn't walk or eat solid food, so she had to use a wheelchair and a feeding tube. She developed cancer and lost all her hair. Gypsy had many other health problems, but Dee Dee was always there to help her. Gypsy had surgery on her eyes and ears and had the glands that make saliva removed from her mouth. Because of this and the many medications she was taking, Gypsy lost all her teeth. In 2005, Gypsy and Dee Dee had to move when Hurricane Katrina destroyed their home. A charity built them a new house with a ramp for Gypsy's wheelchair. People gave money to Dee Dee to help her with Gypsy's medical treatments and to pay for fun things for them to do, like going to Disneyland. Everyone thought Dee Dee was a great mother to give Gypsy so much care and love. Gypsy didn't have any friends because she didn't go to school. Dee Dee kept her at home to look after her. As Gypsy grew up, she wanted to make friends and have a boyfriend. She met people online, but Dee Dee got angry about this. She tried to stop Gypsy from using the internet. Gypsy knew her mother didn't want her to have friends because they were both hiding a big secret. Gypsy wasn't sick at all. She had never been ill. Dee Dee pretended her daughter was sick to get attention and money from other people. This is a disorder known as Munchausen by proxy and is also called medical child abuse or factitious disorder imposed on another. Gypsy had received many unnecessary surgeries and had taken a lot of medication that she didn't need. Dee Dee convinced doctors that Gypsy was sick because her medications could make it look like she was suffering from something else. If Dee Dee didn't get the result she wanted from a doctor, she would just go to a different one. Gypsy saw over 100 doctors during her childhood, but none of them reported anything wrong, so nobody knew that Gypsy wasn't ill. Gypsy could walk and eat food normally, but she was scared of Dee Dee and never told anyone. Dee Dee controlled Gypsy and hurt and threatened her to keep the secret. Gypsy herself didn't know if she was ill or not, but she didn't have cancer. Dee Dee shaved Gypsy's head to make it look like she was going through cancer treatment. Dee Dee also pretended that Gypsy was younger than she was, so she could still be treated as a child. Because they went to so many doctors, it was easy for Dee Dee to tell these lies. Gypsy didn't know her real age for many years. As she got older, Gypsy found secret ways to meet people online. She met a man called Nicholas Godejohn on a dating website, and they fell in love. She told her neighbour about him and showed her some messages he had sent. In 2015, the two met in real life when Gypsy told Nicholas that she was going to see a movie with her mother. Nicholas turned up at the screening, and the two of them pretended to meet for the first time. Gypsy was 24, but looked and acted much younger. She hoped her mother would like Nicholas so they could be in a proper relationship, but Dee Dee didn't like him. She tried to stop Gypsy from contacting people online and wanted to keep her inside all the time. Gypsy and Nicholas decided that they would have to kill Dee Dee. In June 2015, Nicholas arrived at Gypsy's house after Dee Dee had gone to bed. Gypsy gave him a knife and then hid in the bathroom so she wouldn't see or hear anything. Nicholas went into Dee Dee's bedroom and stabbed her in the back at least 14 times. After the murder, Nicholas and Gypsy took some money from the house and stayed in a motel for a few days. After that, they travelled back to Nicholas's house. Gypsy left her wheelchair and oxygen tank behind because she didn't need them. Dee Dee's body was found by police after Gypsy posted about her death on Facebook. She did this because she felt bad about what they had done and wanted Dee Dee to be discovered. Gypsy's neighbour told the police about Nicholas and showed them the messages that Gypsy and Nicholas had been sending to each other. So the police went to Nicholas's house. They found Gypsy and Nicholas and arrested them for murder. Gypsy was charged with second-degree murder. She didn't kill Dee Dee herself, but she had planned the killing. Dee Dee had abused Gypsy her whole life, so many people felt sorry for her. Gypsy pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 10 years in prison. She served 8 years and was released in December 2023. She has said in interviews that she regrets the death of her mother every day. Nicholas Godejohn was charged with first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison with no chance of getting out. He said he was in love with Gypsy and she manipulated him, but his prison sentence hasn't been changed. Gypsy wasn't allowed to see Nicholas, so that was the end of their relationship. Gypsy married another man while she was in prison, but the marriage ended not long after she was released. She is now in a new relationship and announced she was pregnant on social media in July 2024. Gypsy Rose Blanchard is famous for being a victim of medical child abuse and also for going to prison because she organised the death of her mother. Gypsy's story has been made into several TV shows, and she has done several interviews both while in prison and after her release. People were very surprised to hear that Dee Dee had made up Gypsy's illnesses, and the case opened the public's eyes to Munchausen by proxy and medical child abuse. In a video on YouTube announcing her pregnancy, Gypsy said, "I hope to be everything my mother wasn't." So that's all for today. Thanks for listening to True Crime ESL. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this podcast, and maybe tell a friend about it. You can follow us on Instagram at @TrueCrimeESL, and you can also buy us a coffee if you want us to keep making these podcasts. Today's story was written by Katy Watson, and all other production was by me, Nova Singh. You can download our free document for vocabulary, a transcript of today's story, and our story sources. You can find the link to the document in the video description. Take care and stay safe out there, true crime fans.